In this episode, we talk about the 4 must-know home selling tips. Not really. And you'll love number 4. Not really. This is episode 19 of Inside Real Estate Show with me, Darin Persinger of Persinger Group Real Estate. And before we get into this show specifically for home sellers, let me give you a little up-to-date on what's going around here in the local area. If you want more information on this stuff, you can head over always to persingergroup.com/blog, where we post local events, things to do, places to check out, fun things going on in our local area. A thing of note, wine lovers, you're going to love the Snohomish Wine Festival, taking place March 5th at the Snohomish Event Center. There's going to be 2 tasting sessions available, one from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. and another from 5:30 to 8:30. So if you love wine, head over to persingergroup.com/blog to learn more about the Snohomish Wine Festival coming to town on March 5th. And then if you're a runner, boy, those things are kind of probably opposite of each other, different types of groups, but that's what's great about things to do. There's going to be always something for someone out there. If you're a runner, we got the 4th annual Sea Trail 5K, 10K, and Kids Half Mile Run taking place in Lake Stevens. This is going to be on March 12th. By the way, you can feel good about participating in this event. Your money going to it to register for it. It benefits the Lake Stevens School District Stephen R. Covey Leader in Me program. And as a member of the Lake Stevens Chamber, we've had a group of kids come in and talk to us about how that program has impacted how they approach school, their classmates, their classes, their homework, their home life. And, I'm a big Stephen R. Covey fan. 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. That's what they're teaching for the Leader in Me program. So a great event, and I've seen the impact of it here locally. So head over to persingergroup.com/blog, check out those local events. In episode 18, I did a little review of an article I found online about the 4 must-know tips for buying, and just said, these are kind of a joke, a little bit of a clickbait going on. And there's actually, inside the same article, there's 4 must-know tips for home sellers also. So I thought I would cover that for you in today's episode, not to leave home sellers out. And if you want to know how I felt about the last article, I don't want to go into all the details of how I just feel it's clickbait and there's a lot of misinformation out there. There obviously is. You can go listen to the last episode, because if you're selling, you're probably going to be buying too. Go check out that episode 18. In this episode, I want to talk about the top tips for sellers that this article says in 2016. So let's get into this. Tip number 1, list during the prime buying season. They say sellers who list their home during the prime spring and summer months benefit from a larger population of buyers and potential bidding wars, which often result in higher prices and faster closings. I'm going to disagree with that quite a bit. I've done an episode on this before. What episode was it? Episode number 7 of the Inside Real Estate Show. Go back, find that episode where I talk about the myth that the time to sell is in the spring. That's not what our data shows. Just from being on the ground, in the dirt, out doing this, working with sellers, working with buyers, I call it the difference between spring activity and winter productivity. Sure, there's a lot more buyers out, but there's also a lot more homes for sale because everyone thinks that that's the time to get their home on the market. So you just feel busier and there's more people coming through your house and there's more people looking, but that's all they are, is they're lookers. There's really no bad time to sell your home. Top tip number 2, price to sell. Thanks, Captain Obvious. Number 3, consider an incentive. Is there something extra a seller could throw in to entice a buyer? Sellers who are open to negotiate beyond just price may find more success in hooking a buyer. 37% of all sellers offered some type of incentive last year. I don't know what kind of incentive they're talking about. I will say that a lot of times buyers, especially first-time home buyers, are asking for closing costs. The cost of them on getting their mortgage, and to come up with the down payment and their financing closing costs is sometimes a bit too much for buyers. So they'll ask for that. There's no reason, though, as a home seller, that you should advertise that. And if they're talking about something, for example, like we'll give you a carpet allowance, my experience is rip out the carpet and put the new carpet in, or price, go back to tip number 2 that they gave, price accordingly, knowing that they're going to rip the carpet out. Because they're still going to come in. Buyers, their mind is, even though I'm getting an incentive on this, they're looking at it and they're like, oh, this is going to be a lot of work, a lot of time out of our schedule. They're going to still discount that off the listing price. So I don't know if I'm a big fan of this incentive tip that they give here. And then here's tip number 4, believe it or not. Their must-know tip for 2016 is have a home in California, specifically in the Stockton, Lodi, Bakersfield, Fresno, and San Jose, Santa Clara area. Make sure your home is there and sell it. Not sure how that helps 99.9999999% of the rest of us that have a home, unless you have a mobile home, and then you can go get some land somewhere and put that mobile home on a land in this area in California and sell it. But this is a top tip, a must-know tip for 2016. Have your home in California and sell it. The reality is your home is probably not in California. So if you want to know the reality, the factual must-know tips on selling your home, let's talk. I'm Darin with Persinger Group Real Estate. You can find out more about selling your home at persingerrealestate.com. I'd be happy to sit down with you and talk with you face to face over a coffee, or maybe even over a beer. I have been known to enjoy a beer occasionally. And we can talk about the true 4 must-know tips for getting your home sold. So for more information, go to persingerrealestate.com, or just go and schedule your time to sit down with us at persingergroup.com/meet greet. Until next time, home is what you make it, and love your home.